Hey guys, this is my first YouTube video ever, not just on this channel, but ever, so bear with me if I stumble upon my words a little bit or you see me looking down. I have some notes that I want to make sure that I get into this video. So first of all, thank you for watching. This channel is going to be just about my passions pretty much, so holistic nutrition and nutrition in general, training, meditation, yoga, natural body care products, and there could be some random things thrown in there too, like something about our French bulldog. A little bit of anything, and I'm super interested in hearing what you guys would like to hear about from me. Any specific topics or any questions, I would love to hear from you. So please comment below with anything that you might be interested in hearing about. First off, I am going to be going to school at the end of August through the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition to become a holistic nutritionist. So that's one reason where my passion and interest for holistic nutrition comes from, but I have had that passion for many a years now, just finally going to go to school and get the proper education for it. So I'll give you guys a little background on me. Growing up, I was super active. I grew up playing lots of different sports: basketball, baseball, volleyball, and then I started figure skating, and then I went into dance in grade 8. And I danced from grade 8 till about grade 10, 11, somewhere in there. And the reason that I stopped dancing was due to the fact that I actually had a really bad case of anorexia. So I kind of had to stop dancing due to the fact that I just didn't have the energy, and I was getting too thin, and it was just becoming a really unhealthy thing. So my mom pulled me out of dance, and I started to go into recovery from my eating disorder. So if there's anybody out there that is struggling with an eating disorder right now, please know first and foremost that recovery is possible and that you can get better. I thought that I was going to be that way forever, and it was horrible, and it's a very dark place. But please, first and foremost, seek help. I can tell you that the eating disorder clinic that I went to saved my life. So looking for somebody that specializes in eating disorders, preferably obviously a psychologist, and somebody that can help you with your nutrition as well, getting you back to a healthy weight, getting just your health back in general, due to the fact that an eating disorder can literally destroy your health. And if you have one long enough, people unfortunately die from them all the time. So please, if you are struggling, please get help. So I went to recovery for about a year. It was a live out clinic, so I went a few times a week, but I got to live still at home, so that was nice. I had a psychologist and I had a nutritionist, and it was rough, but it was worth it. And I'm so glad that I did go through that, because it really made me the person I am today. So when I was finished with my recovery, I really wanted to learn how to live a healthy lifestyle without dieting and trying to lose weight all the time. So I really wanted to start exercising, but my family was nervous that if I started exercising, I would go back to just wanting to lose weight and wanting to diet and calorie restrict to the point of nothing. So luckily we had a family friend that it was a personal trainer, so they set me up with her because she knew that I couldn't lose any weight or anything like that. And so I started training with her about once a week, and I really started to fall in love with working out and the adrenaline rush and just seeing my body change in a good way, putting on some weight and gaining some muscle. And of course, the fear of putting on weight still scared me, but I knew that it was, just step by step learning about how the body works. And from being in such a calorie deficit to eating again, obviously you're going to gain weight, and when you gain it back at first, it's not always the places that you want it to go, but it's life and it's inevitable, and it's you have to be healthy, so being a little heavier is just the way it is. And so I just started training with her, and I was struggling with nutrition though, because when I was in recovery, my nutritionist at the time had me on the Canada Food Guide, and if you guys are in the States, that's more like the food pyramid to you. And so I was eating a lot of animal products, a lot of meat, a lot of dairy, like a lot of dairy, a lot of yogurt, and a lot of milk. lots of eggs, and lots of processed foods. So I know that they were just trying to get my weight back up, and they were only trying to help, and obviously trying to do it in the fastest way possible. But unfortunately, I was eating a lot of processed foods, and a lot of foods that might not have been the best for my body and overall health, but they definitely helped me put on weight. So I am thankful for that. And in no way am I disappointed in how they got me to put weight back on or anything like that, because they literally saved my life. So in no means am I saying anything bad about it. I just now know that there's a lot better ways to eat, and a lot different ways of nutrition, and newer information, newer science, and whatnot. So even though I was training with this family friend of ours, I was struggling with nutrition. So I just, she started to teach me little things, good calorie dense foods that were still healthy for you, getting good carbs in, and good fats, and good sources of protein. So I started to get a little bit more knowledgeable in that area, which was awesome. And when I went into recovery, I was 83 pounds. Before I ever got sick, I was 130. So that was a really big drop. And I'm just over 5'4". I'm like 5'4" and a half. So then when I got out of recovery, I was around 115, 120. And then when I started training with her and eating a little bit of a different diet, more whole foods, not as much animal products, but I was still eating animal products, my body started to change in a good way, and I put on a few more pounds, but it was okay. It was a little rough for me, but it was good. And then I decided that I loved fitness so much that I wanted to go and get my own personal training certificate. So I went to school to become a certified personal trainer. And I worked out of a gym for a little while, personal training clients. But after a few months, kind of decided that working out of a gym wasn't really my thing. I prefer to do it on my own, in my own kind of private area. Working for a gym is just a little bit hectic, and it seems to all be about weight loss, and that's fine. If you have to lose weight, that's great. I'm glad you're exercising, but I just wasn't into that as the sole purpose of what I was doing. And then in 2009, I was in my early 20s, and bikini and figure competitions were becoming a huge thing, and I decided that I really wanted to do one. So I competed for the first time in April 2009 in a figure competition, and I didn't place very well due to the fact that I was pretty tiny, didn't have a lot of muscle, and but even though I didn't place, I was still super happy that I got to do the show and get that experience. And my family was kind of not sure about the whole competition thing due to the fact that it is solely focused on your body and what you look like, and they just thought that that was probably not the best for my eating disorder. And now looking back, obviously I know that it wasn't, but at the time I was naive and I just wanted to compete. So I went ahead and did that, and then I was pretty much hooked on that. So I went and competed again in November 2009. And if anybody has competed that's watching this or knows about the competition world, it's very extreme. Here's your meal plan. This is what you eat at 8, 11, 3, etc. And these are your foods, and you can't eat anything else. So coming from an eating disorder and then going right onto like a meal plan and that kind of black and white extremist mentality was probably not the best. But as I said, I was very determined to do it at the time, and it was just going against pretty much what everybody was saying. So I competed again in November 2009, and I actually placed second in that bikini competition. So obviously when you place well, then you're definitely hooked because you want to do better and you want to go farther. So that qualified me for provincials, and you had 2 years to do provincials, so I could either do them in 2010 or 2011. So I took some time off in 2010, did a little bit of partying and tried to take a little bit of a break, but I was still very in the black and white mindset of my meal plan, and I could only eat these things and not that. And anytime I would have a cheat meal, I would be, so scared that I was going to gain 5 pounds, 10 pounds overnight. So I took that year off, and then I competed in provincials in July of 2011. And right before I competed, about a week before, I got like the worst flu that I've ever had in my life. And I don't even know if it was a flu, but my body just would not hold on to anything. And I was already really tiny because I was only a week out from my show, so I really could not afford to lose any more weight. So I competed anyways, even though I probably shouldn't have with the shape that my body was in, and how sick I was, but I did. And I didn't do near as well as I thought I should have, and for how hard I had trained and all the effort and time that I had put into this prep. So I was pretty devastated, to say the least, after that show, and I told myself that that was it. No more competing. I was done. So then between 2011 and 2013, I found myself in a really dark place again, even though I had a lot of good things going on in my life. I had met my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband. So my love life and like my family life and everything was really good, but mentally I was in a scary place. I was pretty much back to having an eating disorder. I felt like I didn't know what to eat. I was scared of carbs. I was scared of fruit. I was scared of too much fat. I pretty much was just living off of plain chicken breast, egg whites, vegetables, and maybe some almonds once in a while. But I was in a scary place. I would cry every time I had a cheat meal due to the fact that I was scared that I was going to get fat. I would cry over the silliest things. I was a moody disaster. So in 2013, I decided that I needed to get this sorted out. I couldn't live like that anymore. It was ruining my life, and it was ruining everybody else's life that was around me. So I found a really amazing coach who helped me immensely, and I'm so glad that I found her. She helped me get away from that extremist type living, and we kind of reverse dieted me. So I learned how to count macros, the IIFYM sort of thing, and she taught me a lot, and my mental state improved, and I was putting on weight, but I felt like I looked better and I wasn't upset about it, and it was really good. And then in the end of 2013, I decided that, hey, I want to compete again. I want to do this in a different way. I want to do it in a healthier way. And so we discussed it, and she wasn't sure just due to the fact of my past, but we finally went forward. And I competed again in June 2015, so about a year ago, in bikini, and I actually placed first. So that was awesome, and I was super happy about that. And I had the opportunity to go to provincials and even possibly onto nationals, but at that point, I was actually done that time, and I was like, okay, I really want to go and live my life now. There's so many things I want to do, and I don't want to just be focused on training and what I'm eating and getting on the stage, because I had focused on that for so many years before. So after the show, I was still counting macros. I did for about 6 months after the show, just to kind of keep myself in check and not so I gained like 20 pounds overnight due to the fact that I had been dieted down for my show. And then I just decided in October that I couldn't count macros anymore. I couldn't weigh my food. It was starting to become a little bit of an obsession again. Everything was being weighed to the gram, and it was becoming obsessive. And I just knew that if I continued down that road, that it would be an unhealthy place for me to be. And plus, I don't want to be counting macros for the rest of my life. It's not something that seems realistic for me super long term. I want to have something that I can maintain and be livable with, and not have to stress, over the tiny little grams or ounces or whatever. So as I was talking about in the beginning, I am going to school for holistic nutrition in August. And I have been interested in holistic nutrition for ages, for years. I was supposed to go to school to become a holistic nutritionist back in 2013, but we moved and a bunch of stuff went on in my personal life, so I didn't have the opportunity to. So I'm super excited to go at the end of August, and I'll be in school for a year. And over the past few months, I have turned more to a plant-based whole foods diet. So pretty much vegan, just trying to get myself a little more knowledgeable. I know that I still slip up sometimes, especially when eating out. You eat something and you're like, oh my goodness, that had dairy in it, or that definitely had egg in it. So I'm getting there, but honestly, I feel the best I've ever felt. I have so much energy. I just feel amazing. And I'm not here to preach about veganism or preach about anything like that. Everybody is their own person, and I feel like a plant-based whole foods diet or a vegan diet is one of the best things that we can do, not only for our bodies and for the environment and obviously for the animals. But as I said, I'm not here to push anything on anybody. Just here to let you guys know how I live and what I do in my day-to-day life and what I eat. And that's another thing. I'll show you guys what I eat in a day, groceries that we buy, recipes that I have. and hopefully you guys enjoy that, and you can take something away from that. So thanks for listening to my first video, guys, and I'd love to hear what you want to hear about. Questions or comments, please comment below, or feel free to email me and add me on Instagram. My Instagram and my email will be in the bio, so add me on Instagram and send me an email if you'd like to chat a little bit more, and comment below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.